Good morning, everyone. My name is Dominique Holmes, and I'm the Public Information Officer for Hernando County Government. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I'd like to go ahead and call up Sheriff Al Nienhuis to do the pledge. We'll start off our ceremony with the pledge. If everyone can please rise.
Good morning, and now more than ever, I think we need to pay attention to the words as we say the pledge to our great republic and the flag that represents it, that we need to be one nation that's under God and indivisible. So say the pledge with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to go ahead and recognize some of our dignitaries in attendance with us today. If you can just give a wave real quick so we can see where you're at, and then we'll all give a round of applause. Can I please have Chief Judge Daniel B. Merritt Jr. give a wave? Thank you. We also have Judge Merritt Sr. in the audience today too. Thank you. Anna Segovia with Congressman Gus Belarakis' office. We have Alyssa and Brooke from Representative Jeff Holcomb's office. We have Sheriff Al Nienhuis, who just came up. Thank you. County Commissioner Brian Hawkins. County Administrator Jeff Rogers. Deputy County Administrator Tony Brady. We have Clerk of Court Doug Corvat. And then any representatives from Mason Blau Architects, Manhattan Construction Company LLC, and Stantec. Thank you guys so much. So the renovations for the Judicial Center began back in September of 2022 and entailed the expansion of courtrooms, enhanced security, a new entrance and lobby that we love, including upgrades to the parking area, such as 88 parking spaces adjacent to the entrance and a dedicated media zone. With also new courtrooms, I wanted to kind of share details about the new courtrooms at this courthouse. Courtroom I, which is the current courtroom that we are in, will be County Judge Barbara Jo Bell's courtroom. Courtroom K, to my right over here, will be the Special Magistrate's courtroom for the 5th Judicial Circuit Court. Courtroom J over here will be Judge Kurt Hitzman's courtroom. And then Courtroom H, which is located downstairs, will be Chief Judge Daniel B. Merritt Jr.'s courtroom. So at this time, I'd like to go ahead and call up some guest speakers to talk more about these upgrades and projects with the Judicial Center. First off, if I can please have Chief Judge Daniel B. Merritt Jr. to the podium just to share a few words, we'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for being here. And I want to say I was not anticipating speaking this morning, so I may ramble a little bit. What I had anticipated when our court operations manager said that we were going to be having a ribbon cutting, I thought I'd show up with a fake pair of scissors, cut a big ribbon, get my picture taken, shake a few hands, and go back to work. But there's substantially more people here this morning than I had anticipated. So again, I want to thank everybody for being here. And what I want to say, and then I will thank some other additional people, but what I want to say is that this courtroom renovation and courthouse renovation project is the culmination in part of something that began that was sorely needed even back 15 years ago by a prior chief judge whom I look a little bit like, but just better looking. There's something he started, and he recognized the need that our county was growing significantly and began to approach the county commission in earnest multiple times with the proposition that our facilities needed to be improved to meet the needs of our public and to be commensurate and in line with what the facilities are in the other counties within our circuit. So in part, that's where it started, and he deserves some credit for recognizing that. That would be my father, retired and former Chief Judge of the 5th Circuit, Daniel B. Merritt Sr. So what we've done, we've improved our courtrooms, we've added additional courtrooms, and And we've improved security, which all you have to do is see what's in the news these days and about the importance of security for the public and litigants and the judges themselves, rather than walking through litigants and criminal defendants, which I do on a regular basis. It's part of my job, and I accept that, but that will now be alleviated. And myself and the other judges of Hernando County thank the County Commission. I want to thank a few additional people, the County Administrator, the County Commissioners, our Court Operations Manager, Jeremy Moore, for substantially leading this project. Without him, it couldn't have gotten completed, because aside from a project like this that takes a lot of time, I actually have a real job as a circuit judge. And the administrative duties take up a lot of time as well, and I thank all the court administration for being supportive of everything we do and of this project. So we now have a facility that ranks with the facilities in the rest of the circuit, and I appreciate that. Our judges appreciate that, and I'm sure we will continue to serve the public as the best interest of all of us require. These courtrooms, sometimes in our world, we're the symbol of justice, and we have to look the part. Our courtrooms and our facilities have to look the part. You can't come to some place and expect to receive or have a perception about the importance of what we do in our government and the third and equal branch of government, and come to some place that's substandard. We no longer have that. And on top of that, they're beautiful courtrooms to go with the beautiful facade of our original courthouse that you can see from Main Street with the big columns. In my opinion, I've been all over the state. It is one of the most beautiful historic courthouses that there is in this state. And we're proud to have it, and we're proud to have this new space. So if I missed somebody, I apologize, but the judges are humbled, and we thank everybody for your patience while all of this inconvenience was going on. But it's been sorely needed, and so I probably should sit down. Sorry. All right. I'll sit. I was going to tell another story, but I'll sit down. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you, Chief Judge. At this time, I'd like to go ahead and invite up our County Administrator, Jeff Rogers, to the podium to share a few words.
So good morning. Again, thank you for showing up today in this momentous day in Hernando County. It's been a long time coming to this day. I want to start by saying thank you to Chief Judge Merritt and Merritt Sr. for their patience, right? And so now I just thought about this. Maybe the first project has been 2 generations of Merritt's of this job project to come to fruition. So I came here 7 years ago in the county, and at that time this was already a needed project, request from the court system, a high priority project that needed to be done for the citizens of the county to ensure that when we prioritize projects, citizens' access to the legal system, no matter how important or how minor that issue is a core fundamental of our democracy, right? And so as we look at government and what we do every day and how we're using the tax dollars, we look at what those priorities are. And the court system is one of those questions that we have to prioritize, because people's legal access to legal and proper space so that you can get there in a timely manner is definitely a high priority, but it's been requested to be a long time for the Board of County Commissioners. Before I've been here, I've read many letters from Judge Merritt Sr. and Judge Jr., met with them, and met with Jeremy many times, and me and Jeremy debated many times about this and how we were going to fund this project, and so previously many times the decision was just not to make a decision, right? And so lots of times we don't make decisions, we don't find solutions, and so I'm proud of the existing Board of County Commissioners, and now my county administration and me is we had an attitude of the can do. How can we make this happen, right? So it's a huge undertaking to provide for courtroom renovation and expansion, provide those funding, which is as in multi tens of millions, 20s of millions of dollars worth of funding for a project like this. It's a huge undertaking to make something like this happen, especially with an operating courtroom, and to have the vision to make it happen. So part of the board at that time decided that the decision was not to delay and let someone else make this decision down the line. Those are the tough decisions that are made. Investments in your community are tough to make for the time, but they pay off in the long term for the quality of life of the county we live in. And so we make decisions today that are going to make impacts down the line. And whether those impacts are going to come to fruition, none of us might not be here, right? And so, but those decisions have long-term impacts of the quality of life of the future citizens that grow up here, our children that grow up here. Those are the people that are going to render this, and our children that come to these courtrooms one day and have a wonderful space to come here and a women environment, and then also have speedy access to trials. So I credit the decision made by the Board of County Commissioners a couple of years ago to make this project go forward. This project is funded partly a lot of the fees by people that use the system, which is great, right? User fees are funded part of this. We thank the court system for providing some of that funding. Part of this funding, we use some federal dollars that came to the county. And so I appreciate the Board of County Commissioners, their prioritization of using some of those federal dollars. And then also the board for bonding this project and borrowing money. And so that everyday taxpayers now moving forward will use this because they're going to benefit for it too. So that's how the project got funded. So the next thing I want to do is talk a little bit about how the project actually happened. Cooperation is really what has to happen in these kind of projects. So before we can actually hire architects and then eventually engineers and construction companies, the county had to figure out the courthouse wasn't empty. There was a lot of this. It was already full of people being used as courthouse for other parts of government that are equally as important. So the supervisor of election not here today, but thank her for her cooperation and sacrifice to move her office, right? So she, in the middle of election season, she relocated out of the courthouse across the county to a new office. The clerk's office somehow continued to operate, and they relocated their offices inside this courthouse over across into where the county's offices used to be. And during all that time, the county, I think we were going in the beginning of coming into COVID when all this was happening also, the county relocated, and somehow solutions were found because we kept coming up with hurdles about why this can't happen, this is too much of a project, but we found ideas about how we can do it. And solutions continued to come up about space needs, and so the county figured out how to relocate the planning department, the HR department, OMB, purchasing, human resources, county administration, all those things, figured out a way to fund those and move those across the county and to allow for, and that was a heck of a thing to move those. We do other offices and get these people out of here while we're designing this building and trying to come to construction. And so at that time, I really appreciate the cooperation of all this, because everybody had to sacrifice, right? So even people in this building, employees here, had to sacrifice, change locations, maybe have less office space today, but for the prioritization of the citizens to come to the trial system. And so I really appreciate Supervisor Election Doug Corvat, the court system, and all the county offices for everybody trying to figure out how to make this happen, because there's a lot of decisions that had to be made, a lot of people moving, a lot of sacrifices to get to the day to start building this project. So I want to think a little about thanking some people, obviously the architects and the contract Manhattan and the construction civil engineering company, Santec, that have provided this solution. And then I'll bring up Eric Vandenbergard to talk about some of the details of the actual construction. We hired Eric because I had thought about the county, and I said, this is a huge undertaking, and I'm not sure how we're going to build this thing, and so we need somebody on our team that knows how to build stuff. And so the county at that time, and I appreciate the Board of County Commissioners believing in the vision to have a contractor on the board side to make sure that the hundreds of $20, $30 million that we invest is built properly. And so we do that on all the county projects now. So we have contractor Eric Vandenbergard. I'll bring him next to talk about some of those details. But his expertise is really what happens every day. And then beyond that, I want to thank this project is ran out of my office. Jessica Wright, who runs the everyday finances and operation the last 2 years, oversees all the financing and purchasing orders and everything like that. OMB and purchasing our legal department that have produced this today. But in the end, take away that investments in your community, while they're tough to make, and sometimes that short-term gain seems like it's real important to make at the time, the long-term change in your community is only made by an investment at that time. And you might not see that investment today, but it's going to be there for the long-term vision of the community. So I'm proud of the Board of County Commissioners for taking the time to invest in the court system and ensure that we have adequate courthouse in Hernando County. Thank you.
As the saying goes, if it was easy, everybody would do it. It's not easy, and particularly a renovation is not easy. You rely on a lot of existing information, some site reviews, things like that to be able to determine what it is you're going to do. And then you set out to start doing that and find out that's not the way it was. It's not the way it is. So challenges met us almost daily on this project. As has been mentioned, ADA accessibility has been improved tremendously within this renovated space, inside as well as outside in the parking areas. Dedicated media space outside as well. Obviously, the new entrance and lobby being one of the main features of this renovation, making it that much more accessible for everybody, with having to wait outside, long lines, no longer. If you are waiting outside, at least you're covered. There's no more dangerous steps to have to navigate to get into the courthouse building. So tremendous changes that happened just to get into this space. One of the major challenges that we faced with the security aspects of this project was the addition of an inmate elevator. That elevator had to transmit from the basement level all the way through to the roof. And you can imagine the difficulty that we had with the layout of that elevator. It probably shifted 3 or 4 times before it finally landed in its spot. We also had various challenges with soil conditions within the basement area that were overcome and caused us quite a bit of delay in being able to prosecute this project in a timely manner. However, here we are, finally at the end, and that end couldn't have come without great teamwork and great communication, without great patience from everybody in this building and all the team members. There were weekly meetings held between the owner and the construction team, with daily coordination from Manhattan Construction with the sheriff's office, with Jeremy and other building occupants. I can't tell you how great it was having Jeremy a part of this project. His ability to act as liaison with the majority of people within this building was tremendous. I thank all the people for their patience in this building as we built this project. There were times that the noise was unbearable. We faced numerous shutdowns weekly, daily, because of the noise we were making and the ongoing operations that needed to take place within this facility. It couldn't have happened without teamwork, teamwork, teamwork. And I can't thank Manhattan Construction enough for their ability to communicate effectively with those in and around this building. So thank you very much. On a monthly basis, the architects would come up for their on-site reviews. However, they too were involved daily with the challenges that we faced, again, in an existing building, and not understanding that the plans that we were working from originally, a column being in one location, actually being in another location, caused great consternation for all of us during this project. And their ability to communicate in a timely manner with the construction team, to give direction and to figure out how we're going to get around some of those issues was a tremendous effort. And again, I thank them for that. I don't have much more else to say other than I'm glad that we're here at the end. Renovation, as I said, is not an easy type of project to undertake, and it definitely, I think, took all of our tested all of our emotions and our integrity in trying to make sure we did the right thing for the community and for the courthouse here for the long term. So thank you very much for my opportunity to give you my take on this.
Okay, so before we move on to cutting the ribbon, I wanted to let everyone know that when we conclude our ceremony, you may actually walk around and tour Courtroom I, which is this courtroom we're in. You can peek your head into this hallway to my left to see the holding cells, which is unique, and then walk through Courtroom K on my right and then come out through that door on the other side. So you get this little tour right here. We do ask, though, with this gracious opportunity, please do not take any photos over here of the holding cells for security purposes. We'd appreciate that. But if you want to grab a photo of the courtrooms, please help yourself. So I also wanted to give some extra special thank yous to Court Operations Manager Jeremy Moore, and then also, yay, thank you for all your help. Help with any coordination, anytime any media wanted to come on out and take some photos, he helped coordinate that. So just the Public Information Office is really appreciative of that. And then also Hernando County's Construction Projects Coordinator, Eric Vandy Bugard. He helped plan the ceremony and every step of the way of any of our needs. Special thank you to the Court IT technology team. They help with the audio setup. And then my very own public information team, Amy and John, if you can just wave your hands, they will set up no matter what time it is in the morning. They will sit here and break down everything. They don't get enough thanks. John, he does a great job with the Facebook Lives and the YouTube videos. So make sure you follow us on Facebook and YouTube to go ahead and watch this video again. So just thank you guys so much. Now on to the fun part. At this time, can I please have all dignitaries, representatives from Mason Blau Architects, Manhattan Construction Company, LLC, Stantec involved in this project to start coming forward, Hernando County Government staff, as well as 5th Judicial Circuit court staff, Hernando County Clerk of Court staff, to gather in front of this podium so we can go ahead and take a group photo and cut the ribbon. Thank you.